Hi.
Alison, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. I have a sleeping baby, so I'm feeling quite relaxed and ready for this.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. So obviously we just wanted to chat today and yeah, talk about how we came to know each other, how we've worked together, and talk about how you've got a 5-month-old baby, which is basically the stage that I was at when I had the idea to launch Ivy. Um,
Amazing.
as a new mum.
Also, I'm so impressed that your brain was in that place to be able to do something so cool.
Yeah, it was literally, it was kind of, I mean, I describe it as a light bulb moment, which it feels a bit cheesy, but it really was because,
Mm.
as you know, you're living it now. Life changes in a way that no one can ever prepare you for, even though you think you
Totally.
know what's coming, you really don't, like when you have a baby, right? So yeah, and I was just, I mean, we'll get into the detail a little bit later, but yeah, I had always wanted my own business, but it wasn't until this moment that I was like, this is the obvious thing. Why has nobody
Mm.
done this before? So,
Very
anyway,
cool.
but you and I met, I don't know,
Yes.
3 years ago.
Probably,
Was
yeah, I'd say
Christmas?
so. It was, yeah, probably not long before COVID.
Yeah,
And
through
I
my in-law, wasn't it?
Exactly. I remember it so vividly because I went to work with Heather and we were doing a wardrobe session. So I was at her house and we had all of her clothes out everywhere, trying on outfits, figuring out gaps.
Yeah.
And we kept pulling these t-shirts into outfits. And it was like a smart outfit and this t-shirt worked. And then it was like a casual outfit and she had all these t-shirts. So I was eventually like, where are you getting these from? And it was IVT. And she had the full range.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I have worked with you and your products with so many clients of different ages, styles, shapes, sizes, like such a range, and which has been very cool.
Yeah, so it was a lovely, yeah, lovely way to kind of connect with you. And so, just for
Mm,
people that don't know, you're obviously a personal stylist.
yeah,
To talk a bit about that and what you do.
yes. This is also so funny. It's the first time I've
Obviously, you're
spoken about it. I had
full
a
on
baby. I'm like,
mum
what
zone
do
at
I
the
do?
moment, but
Yeah,
yeah,
what do I do again?
really.
So I do personal styling. So very much going to clients' houses to go through their wardrobe with them to try and make the most of their existing wardrobe. So figuring out a bit about them as an individual and what bits in their wardrobe like they're really excited about, the bits they wear loads, the bits they're not wearing. We detox, we outfit build, and then we often go shopping to fill really specific gaps. But other times we don't even really need to do much shopping, and it's amazing how much is in there already that needs tailored or adjusted or um, kind of is not being worn with pieces that excite that client anymore.
That's awesome.
So very very hands-on styling with clients' existing wardrobes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously 5 months into having a baby, I guess you've not sort of done that
Yes.
any of that
I
recently,
mean,
but
I
your
also am like,
has
when will I
changed
how
somewhat.
totally, it's like how can I ever get that energy back? Because I get so excited every time I work with a client. But now I have a baby, I'm like, I can't imagine going back to that. But I know it will come back. It's just that kind of we're still in those earlier stages. We're both still learning what to do and how it all works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So then having met through my sister-in-law, we then got together and
Yes.
met, didn't we, at the Albright in London.
Yeah.
It was great. And we kind of just was like, oh yeah, this is brilliant. Let's do loads of stuff together. I think we were going to plan a
Mm.
photo shoot, weren't we, down there? And then
Yeah.
lockdown. So that kind of obviously got postponed. And then it's unfortunately
Yeah.
we've just never managed to make it happen since, have we?
I
Um,
know.
but
Which is crazy.
I know it's a shame, but obviously you were so kind to feature Ivy in your gift guide at Christmas,
Yeah.
which you produce every year, which is amazing. You do different price points and kind of all genders, different products, everything, isn't it? So it's
Yeah.
good.
Something
Um,
for everyone.
yeah, no, so I was really pleased to be included in that. And then
Mm.
the reason I kind of wanted to talk today is because I get so many customers. So Ivy isn't a maternity brand, but I do have a lot of customers who kind of get in touch saying that they're either during their pregnancy or postpartum, and will our t-shirts work for them? If how many sizes should they size up? Should they, etc., etc. And I just think that talking to you, the stage of motherhood that you're at, as I say, it was basically exactly where I was when the idea of Ivy came to me. I just think it's going to really resonate with so many people and really help them, hopefully. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so
Definitely. And
uh,
I'm obviously wearing my IVT today, and I do honestly reach for. I've got a collection now, which I love. But I'd say from the start, at the start of pregnancy, it was very much an IVT top with leggings was like my uniform every day. But I'd say I'm slowly moving into IVT with a pair of jeans, which feels like a big step forward.
Seriously, do you feel like when you've had a baby, like
Yeah.
leggings? I remember I was in maternity dreams for a good few months, I think, after that.
Oh, definitely.
Wearing like a normal rigid pair of jeans was
Oh
like,
my God.
feels like I'm really pushing the boat out. Like
Like really hard work.
hard work, yeah, big time. So yeah, that was the thing for me. I just felt like at the time your lifestyle pre-baby, I don't know, obviously generalizing here, probably working full-time, you're getting dressed for a role, whatever your job is, you've got a purpose, you've got a role, and you're getting dressed for that role each day. And then obviously you have a baby, and overnight that like instantly changes. Like we were just saying, you're in leggings, you're in joggers, your body's been through, like, you know, if you've had a tough labor, C-section, whatever your experience is, your body's feeling pretty delicate, and you literally just want to protect it and be comfortable. So that's, I guess, why so many of us just live in those joggers and leggings for so long afterwards. But I was, you know, I was kind of at the point I was wearing t-shirts or nursing vests. I've got a lot of shirts actually because it was easy to buttons.
Yeah.
And I did buy a few of those nursing tops, you know, that kind of fold or layer and kind of lift. And they're okay, but they're, you know, it's clearly just a nursing top, and it's kind of like, I'm not going to wear this sort of long term. I just want to be able to wear clothes that are going to last beyond the stage of my life. Feel comfortable. You're obviously washing far more than you ever have in your whole life, because whether it's sick, breast milk or formula or poo, whatever it is that you've got on you, you're washing, your clothes are properly test in a way that they had never have before. So obviously you need to be able to wash things well. And it was, and I was just like, none of my t-shirts, they were too short, the sleeves are too short, they twisted, they shrunk, they pilled, they were just not cut out for it. And I thought, this is such a simple product. I just need something that fits me well, that covers the areas that I want covered right now. That can just work with everything else in my wardrobe.
Totally.
So that's
you did it. And actually, I feel like something I was really aware of. So pre me being pregnant, my pregnancy, my goodness, I worked with a lot of clients who were either pregnant or with their postpartum body, and the things I found with trying to source products for those clients that I really struggled with, and then I struggled with it myself a little before I then got myself into IVTs, was if you don't want to sacrifice your style in pregnancy or when you're breastfeeding or just your postpartum body, it's really difficult to not kind of have to be like, oh, that's really not me, but it's comfy or it washes well or it's like going to fill a gap. Whereas it feels really sad that people have to do that. And the other thing that's really hard to avoid is avoiding trends. And I think it's such a shame when pregnancy clothes follow the trends, because it's like I hope I'm going to be lucky enough to have more pregnancies, and if so, I don't want to have clothes that don't work next time round. And it's kind of so hard to get something that doesn't kind of there's an issue with either of those things.
Which is where money on something for such a short period, and then like you said, like when you are sort of through that, it's like, well, unless you then obviously go on to have lots more babies, it's got such a short shelf life.
And also, even though you don't wear it for that long a time, you still want a nice quality because you want it to feel nice on you and also on your baby's skin. And also you want it to last because, as you say, you're going to be washing it loads, and also hopefully it'll be worn again further down the line. So rather than getting fast throwaway fashion, which I think people's brain automatically goes to, like just get something to fill the gap, it makes so much more sense to get something quality that you feel confident in as well.
Yeah, exactly. And from a money perspective too, like I think that was another thing for me. I'd realized, you know, I had over 50 t-shirts, well over 50 t-shirts from across the high street. So not just sort of the lower end, but higher end, more expensive ones as well, that still hadn't cut it. They weren't cutting it for me. I think to think how much money you'd spend, you'd get a t-shirt, spend whatever on it, wear it, love it for the first time, wash it, and it just never feels and you're just like, not to mention adding to the landfill and all of that, and it's just so much waste, money, everything.
When I do like a detox at a client's home, their t-shirt drawer is always, the t-shirt is always the area of their wardrobe that we pull the drawer out and it like bursts open with t-shirts, and they're like, so those like cheaper t-shirts. I'm going to eventually put them into my pajama drawer, so don't detox them. And it's like, no, they're, and then it's like you try them on and people have got so many because you buy and buy and buy t-shirts to find that unicorn item, that like perfect t-shirt, and then you have this drawer full of stuff you just don't wear, just don't love. So something that does wash well, and every time I put them back on, my IVTs, and they like are the same shape as they were, like that is just a game changer. To know it's a reliable piece, you know it's going to work with your jeans or your skirts, or yeah, it makes me so happy.
Good to know. Yeah, in their shape, yeah, when they wash. Obviously, I suppose what I was going to ask you is, you're at the stage I was at. What, in terms of lifestyle, I guess, to start with, like what's the biggest changes? Because I guess you were working, I mean, I guess not in an office doing what you did, but you were still kind of in a role, and I guess want to present yourself a certain way. So in terms of lifestyle now, obviously with baby every day, Maggie, by the way, we should talk about Maggie, because I've got
we should.
My first t-shirt was Maggie.
Oh my goodness, such a good name.
Yeah, what's the kind of the biggest lifestyle change for you?
Yes, so I was still pre Maggie. I was either on a train or I was all over the UK working with clients in person once COVID had gone and I was able to do so. So when I'm not there, I'm in the Albright, the Women's Members Club, just working from there. So it did feel like I'm always out and about. So every day I would select an outfit for myself for that day. Whereas now, I'd say the biggest change is the lack of time is a big thing, because when she's sleeping, I'm trying to do a million things. Like, it is true. People always say it, but it is true. You try to do everything. Yeah. I'm also thinking about like the ease of what I'm wearing. So the things I've spoken about that easy to throw on, kind of, I want to almost look quite put together, but with still being super comfortable. And I guess the other big change is the fact that I typically, and even though Maggie's not moving around yet, I'm on the floor a lot. So I'm either kneeling or like crawling around or playing with toys or carrying her or pushing a buggy. So it is all about comfort, and she's probably going to be sick of me 10 times. So like, am I wearing something that's easy to chuck in the wash and put back on again tomorrow? Yeah.
That. And then I suppose as a stylist and a professional as what you do, what's your advice for those women who are in those sort of early stages of motherhood? I mean, I guess like you said, it's just making sure that you feel comfortable, like first and foremost. And for each day.
I would definitely, the feeling comfortable thing is key. And also not putting any pressure on yourself to get back into anything, I think so important. And kind of taking each week as it comes, but as opposed to losing your identity, I guess, which I know is such a big part of it, is trying to incorporate stuff into your outfits that feels very you. So whether that's your accessories, or whether it's your shoes, or whether it's still layering, or it's kind of getting a bit of color in somewhere. I found that has been such a big part of feeling more put together, when even if I'm just going to baby class or even going to the library just so I can do something, is kind of putting something on that I feel comfortable in but still feels quite like me. And I'd say, I mean, it's not clothes related, but the biggest thing for me that someone gave me this tip, was actually a client, was to use some drops of like fake tan in your moisturizer, and it's literally been such a game changer, because it's like you suddenly wake up.
On my list for a while, actually. I've never found the right one.
Honestly, Tan Lux. I mean, I love Tan Lux. It just makes such a difference, because then you wake up and even if you've had a really long night with not much sleep, you feel a bit brighter, and then you want to maybe make a bit more effort and throw something on that's it just feels a bit more you. When you do, I find the days where I make the effort, I always feel a bit better, and we often achieve a bit more because I feel more like me as opposed to Maggie's mum, which is also lovely, but you get a bit of you back.
That is a massive thing, isn't it? You do kind of go from whatever, like you say, your role was before, to suddenly you're just mum, and this little you for everything, and it is really hard to kind of then
bonkers.
Yeah, who am I? What was I? Who am I? What do I do? You can't think straight for a start, and everything's just so. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, I mean, just how you've added your scarf, that's obviously it's very you, but you've just taken one of our Bretons and you kind of just completely made it you, and work for you to be like a major thing, but just taking those little pieces.
And also the sorry to interrupt very quickly, just on the like identity change thing. Like, I know clients previously had spoken to me about it. I didn't quite grasp it, and I think I could totally understand what people were telling me about this. I feel like my wardrobe isn't me anymore. And I've totally experienced that. It is such a big part of motherhood. Being like, am I dressing like, it's kind of trying to not let the fact you've had a baby, yeah, take away what your true personal style is. And maybe you want to adapt that style slightly so it suits your new life. But trying to not let go of what really excites you when it comes to getting dressed, when it comes to choosing clothes, whether color, print, whatever your thing is that you do, is making sure you don't just let go of that.
And there's a way of incorporating those things into your
Yeah.
new normal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I struggle with that now. Like, I mean, I'm 5 years. So my Maggie's gonna be 7 next month, and
Oh, wow.
I mean, I basically wear obviously my products every day, and I feel comfortable. I feel like me, but I still sort of struggle sometimes if I have got something dressier that I need to go to, or you know, certain times. And I think even, yeah, like I say, like 7 years on from becoming a mum, it's like there are still times where it's, where can I go with this? How can I wear this? Or, you know, and it's tricky and it's challenging.
And it's also the change of, I'm probably jumping ahead with our questions as well, but just totally reminded me that it's also the change of shape.
Well, I was going to go on to body, actually.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, how's that, I mean, changed for you?
So we're still breastfeeding and my boobs are so much bigger and just totally changed my silhouette. And I think that's been the biggest change, because I like put outfits on and I just don't feel, I'm obviously comparing myself to myself pre-baby, which again is an unfair thing to do, but we all do it when we look in the mirror. But I feel like I'm trying really hard to be more accepting of what I look like at the moment. So I don't kind of just cover myself in baggy stuff until I'm like back to how I was before, because I might never be the same shape as I was before. But that's been I'd say the biggest, kind of the most challenging part is, the change of boob size, and my tummy as well is just different. And it's, getting my head around that has been definitely the most challenging. There's an amazing book called it's somewhere nearby, called like 40 days, 40 days, 40. It's like about looking after yourself. And I found that to be a really, really cool thing to read, because it's very much about focus all your energy onto your mental and physical health as opposed to your appearance. And that will come in time. But rather than, I think it's so easy to kind of focus more on what you look like as opposed to what's going on inside, which I think is so much more important for myself and for Maggie.
Completely, because it is drastic. Like, you go from, like, again, overnight having this beautiful, firm, obvious baby bump.
Yes.
To, you've still got the bump, but the baby's out and it's just a bit of a misshapen stomach. And it takes a long time for that to go. For some people, it never really goes. Like, mine's never been the same again. I know lots of people work very hard, probably do get back to perhaps how they were pre-baby, but everybody's different. And that's the thing. It's wanting to kind of have the confidence that you can cover those areas without looking frumpy, but with something that's not going to cling, and just confidence in the coverage when you're lifting the baby or lifting the shopping or whatever it is, just having that coverage. But I think body is a massive thing, isn't it?
And it's done this amazing thing also. Like, I try really hard as well to be like, that's so incredible that your body has grown this little person. And
on it. Let's actually
exactly
praise it, not just be like, oh, I can't get back to how it was.
I know. And also I speak so openly with clients about what's going on for them when they're trying on clothes, like why they react certain ways. When I see them in an outfit and I'm like, you look incredible, and they're like, my God, I'm not going to wear it. It's always really interesting to unpack like why our brains take us that place of like, no, I can't. And I'm having to kind of listen to what I say to clients, kind of say it to myself, because I put like a higher neck top on and I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this, and now my boobs are much bigger, when actually you can. And it's more just trying to be more accepting of who I am now, and that you still can create an outfit and feel good in it. It's just more what's going on in here as to how confident you look and feel in it.
Absolutely, because even like physically, like I say, my stomach's never been the same, and I will always have that little pouch at the bottom. Not little, it's actually quite big. And like things like mom jeans or high-waisted jeans, I love them, but they're not the most flattering. Like, and you can always see that kind of little patch. I'm like, well, do you know what? It's there. It's there for a reason. It's grown two incredible humans. I'm at the point where I'm like, it's fine. Like, it's just there. I like these jeans. I'm going Yes, you can
Yes,
see.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's very cool.
no.
I know.
So I guess what would be, you probably had like a list of key items that you would tell clients you always need, like before, but as a mum, like right now in this stage of your life, what would those key items be? Like, I guess
Yes,
quite similar, like great pair of jeans. I don't know, like what would they be?
really similar. So I would say that I again, as opposed to, so I find that that like capsule list can sometimes confuse clients. I find that they go so kind of like hard at, right, I have to get this, and this, and then they get it, and
Okay, yeah.
totally, and then they're like, hold on, where's my personality gone? Like these things are not me. But I would say personally, I found having some just really simple items that you can accessorize or add the cool jacket or shoes or the things that fit you throughout pregnancy and afterwards, that you can add your personality. And so having like a really good I'd like a really good navy wide leg jogger, a really good pair of jeans, my striped tops. I did have like a good shirt. I had like a bold colored jumper, and I found that between those items, and I actually had a on my social media, I had this like kind of bonkers dress, and I did just wear them on repeat, and you could kind of mix and match between them. But I found the fact that like my shirts, I was pregnant through summer, so a lot of my shirts I could wear as jackets over kind of a dress with a bit of stretch to it and things. And so I was quite lucky in the fact that I know in winter it's harder. I mean, you can obviously wear like a big jumper, but then you end up stretching out the clothes as you get bigger. But I managed to avoid buying any maternity wear, which was kind of my aim, so that the bits and pieces that I did buy, actually, that's not entirely true. I bought one pair of maternity jeans, and they're incredible. And I'm so sad that they're going to be like packed away. But I found that people say you don't need to buy maternity, but I found with jeans it was almost impossible. Once you get past the phase of being able to use a hair bubble to keep them closed, it's like, yeah, you need to get that stretchy band.
As well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, jeans are just essential. So yeah, I think that if you're
Totally.
going to buy one maternity thing, I think that's probably the one to go.
Yeah, definitely. But I would say that the post baby, I found that having a breastfeeding vest top was actually just all I needed to then make all of my shirts and my jumpers work hard for me. So I was, from day one of getting home, I just wore knitwear and shirts or tops I could pull up. And then it just felt like it kind of opened up my wardrobe. Yeah, so I didn't have to buy newness. I just could wear kind of what I had. And obviously on the bottom half, it was my wide leg joggers with the stretchy waistband or my leggings that I wore to start with as well.
Sounds like
Yeah, essential.
It's actually like one of the good things from lockdown, wasn't it? Because we could always kind of all get away with that. Nobody
Totally.
Yeah.
I also think that lockdown and the timings, kind of comfort became normal in COVID. Like it was normalized to wear comfy clothing, and I think that's actually had a really good impact on maternity wear, because people are now have kind of upped their game with their comfort wear, as opposed to it being like, can't open the door because I'm wearing my at-home comfies. It's like, I'm going to go out.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think that actually has kind of helped people be more, not feel embarrassed to be wearing like a pair of leggings just because it's the only thing that fits and is comfy after having a baby. Oh, paused by the crying baby.
Right on cue.
Hold on, I'm going to turn her down for a second. Hold on a second. I'm just turning her down for a second because she's still got her eyes closed. I feel like it's maybe a bad dream. I sound like a terrible mother. I'll see what she does.
Okay, no worries. I mean, we can, I think we've covered quite a lot. I think that, I think that's great. And thank you so much for your time.
Not at all. It's been lovely chatting. I mean, it's just like, even that change is amazing. What happens to your head of like, you're so in depth talking about work and clients, and then it's like, baby's cried. Oh my God, what was I saying? What's happening? It's amazing how it changes you so much.
In tune to them, aren't you? Yeah.
Totally. But that was lovely.
Thank you very much. Yeah, really lovely. And take care.
Thank you. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.